for artists or bands, I really like Zeppelin. So
All right.
that influenced me quite a bit.
Okay.
Go ahead, Vinny.
Yeah, I mean, I started out in the 80s rock, and then I went to the 90s, and then some of the new stuff, and then I got way back into the classic rock, and that's where I kind of stuck my roots into his classic rock and blues. And
so my inspiration is the Green Day part. I've always been part of like the punk stuff. I used to skateboard and all that, everything. And you had I know I'm gonna say Misfits, and that's like a sin to say Misfits is punk. But the Sex Pistols, they were always good. Emmanuel, that was another great punk band that I listened to. And then Green Day, I really got into. But these guys have gotten me into the classic rock more because I didn't grow up with that. And kind of hearing it and redeveloping it has been great because I like putting that into the music. When we first started playing and Vinny had joined us, because Derek and I started in high school, kind of broke off because we went to college, came back, and we reconnected this October and started playing. Vinny joined in, and when we first started, Vinny was honestly hearing our music and was kind of like, we were a little bit more punkish, kind of, and he's like, let's separate the projects. And, we were outside, and I kind of turned to him, and I was really inspired by what Vinny was doing and how he was playing, and I said no. I told him no. And so then we kind of started developing more, and we kind of go with the philosophy we're guys who love just to create any music, any type of music. If a country song comes out of us, so what? If a punk song comes out of us, so what? Yep. It's the best way to pay tribute to who inspires us. We all fit in our own field.
I think that's why we fit together so good. Nobody's like fighting each other.
Yeah. Doesn't mean that we might not have
we might have disagreements, but
they're not even disagreements. It's weird. It's just I don't even know how to say it. More or less, it's just from us doing the grind. We practice 3 times a week for like 5 hours at a time. So sometimes it's more or less the fact that we're here and we're not with our families. That's more or less the irritation. But actually, the music, Vinny can bring a song in. Yeah. Derek even writes songs. We want to incorporate those in our second album. And then I write stuff, and we just take them all at a time. Shows. Lots of shows. We are getting tour fever. Like, we just want to go out and play. And we did it the reverse way. We created the album before we started booking shows because we knew we had something there. We had set a goal because we had this set list, basically. And we started playing. We said, man, we need to get this recorded. And Vinny kept casually saying, well, we can record it. I can record it. And he was recording his own music, and showing it to us, and it sounded good. And we were like, cool, let's give it a try. And after we didn't even use it, but one demo recording, we said, this is where we need to record this album. We need to do it now. Because he had the equipment and he knew what he was doing. This is the farthest we've ever made it in our career as musicians to actually producing what we believe to be, like I said, a high quality product. Mm-hmm. And I think we pay tribute to all of our artists. That's why the album has kind of this weird flow to it because it's just the music that we want to play. Mm-hmm. We all get to do something that we like, and that does come out in our music. Derek can work his butt off doing a drum fill, but it's something that he created that he believes fits in this space. So our track Boom was the very first jam we ever did with Vinny. He had never even heard the song, and he came in, didn't even really say hi, and that was cool because we were like focused.
His amp and I think he just jumped into the song and we didn't even stop. He just kind of plugged in.
I had the riff from like the first time we played the song.
we played that song for almost 40 minutes nonstop, over and over and over, because the lyrics weren't even really written either. So I was just kind of adding stuff, and then we were changing it, and we walked away. I had to work that day. I remember we all walked away sweating and smiling because we were like, this is just perfect.
I just do it, and it's part of my daily routine is playing music. And I would love to slowly make that transition, but it is nice to have that balance. Mm-hmm. And it does keep me in check, and it keeps me physically, emotionally on the right track. I feel like having family and having a day job. And I am lucky enough to have a day job to work for great people who, I can't just be like, I hate you guys. And no, but having this band here, I've been considering it way more. We just got to keep making those steps in the right direction. And, if we got to work a little harder until it pays off, then keep doing it because
I want to say that I'm able to do it because of my family. I kind of train. I have my own house now with my wife, but I had to train my family very young that I was going to play music and I was going to play it when they didn't want to hear it. And so, without them supporting me, and that doesn't mean they paid my bills, but that means they let me keep playing my instrument. They let me bring home a drum set, even though I'm not a drummer. When I was 13 years old, and just start playing it every day when I came home from school. And then on top of it, it would be my wife. She is not a musician herself. She kind of almost doesn't understand it, but she knows that I have a passion, and she sees that I want to do this. And she thinks that we have something there. And if she thinks that it'll pay our bills, she's all for it. Even if it takes 3 years to get there. She has opened up our house to let us practice not once, not twice, but 3 times a week. And kind of that, like my parents, she comes home from a stressful day at work and she has to hear us play, and we play very loud, but that's how she supports our music. She basically lets it happen and knows that we're not down there just messing around. We're setting goals, we're doing them, and we're making it work.
So I bought a house, so I'm gonna have to work a lot. And I can't just go off with these jokers and try and make it big time, because if you think that we're going to make money at it, it's slim to none. But I would love to, but yes, my wife and my job, my family, all very supportive. If it wasn't for them, then I wouldn't be able to do this. I don't know.
When the time's there, when the paycheck shows up, then hey, we'll pursue it forward. But until then, we do have to make that balance. Our families do need our quality time, and we have to cut our practices short sometimes, and they kind of extend. And it's like, but we got to do it because it's 10 o'clock at night, and our spouses are waiting for us. You know what I mean? We have food that's sitting in the refrigerator that was made 4 hours ago, but we couldn't be there for dinner. And we have to wake up early for our jobs. All of us do. So we do have to balance it, but they let us be able to balance it. We couldn't do it if there was a barrier, because we care about what other people say. And I'm pretty sure if my wife said I don't want you to do it, I would have to take her word, and trust her with that.